The Void. Series 1, Episode 4, The Fillim Perspective, by Richard Marcus Powell. Chapter 12. I think we can count that as a productive visit, don't you think? Denom concluded.
We should be able to compile a sufficient dataset from the readings we've recorded,
Dr. Nevon, who watches with patience, replied.
Plus, with all the samples the team collected, we should have enough to build a comprehensive profile of the ecosystem.
Denom placed a number of specimens into a storage locker with a built-in climate control. Everything was kept in a customizable lattice that rotated through the 3 dimensions. It looked bulky and unwieldy, but when closed it was an efficient use of space. Have you got any preliminary thoughts on the issue, Doctor?
It certainly looks like a habitable planet for humans, but it's too early to draw any real conclusions. The ecosystem looks sturdy enough, but appearances can be deceiving. The web of interdependencies can be very fragile, if just one species is removed from the equation.
I suppose the key is whether we can increase the oxygen in the atmosphere without causing any part of that web to collapse.
The universe is a harsh place, and life is fragile,
Dr. Nevon opined.
Every species lost is a tragedy, and not without consequence.
Dr. Nevon was inspecting one of the samples with her 4 limbs, whilst her main hands were carrying a specimen container. Denom watched her manipulate the sample with great dexterity. The Makeen limbs were of differing dexterity, with the main middle limbs being stronger but lacking finesse, whereas the 4 limbs were weaker but far more dexterous. I hope it is possible to colonize. It seems such a remarkable world.
I hope so as well. The Makeen require a higher oxygen concentration, though, so it might be we fine-tune it for humans, but not for Makeen.
Would that pose a problem for the proposed joint project?
It may lock the Makeen out of the project, but it will not prevent us from helping humanity colonize it if it is deemed suitable,
Nevon commented.
I've been encouraged by the success of previous efforts and hope this follows the same pattern.
So do I, Doctor, Denom agreed. I think the joint collaborations in planet shaping have been roaring successes so far.
They have been, but the dew still rests on the leaves.
Denom had heard this Makeen phrase before. It was analogous to early days in human parlance. He'd been around them long enough to realize many of their phrases revolved around the natural world. It was who they were as a people. It's still a fledgling alliance, but we hope to build strong foundations here.
The projects are going well, but it is in the little things I've noticed that I am impressed.
How so?
Such a commitment and respect for nature amongst your teams. Even the ancient human from the age that killed your homeworld showed concern and respect for nature,
Nevon indicated.
That has impressed me.
They all believe in the Republic's commitment to ecological preservation, Denom added. I'm proud of them all.
As you should be, Doctor, Nevon acknowledged. I'm starting to think that the problem with humanity is not within its people, but its leaders. If the right humans are in charge, you flourish. If the wrong humans are in charge, you get...
The corporations. I know, Denom finished.
There are many Makeen who still despise humans, and those who are coming around to the potential of the Republic consider it to be a deviant state, abnormal to the rest of human society. In this case, being a deviant is a positive thing.
There are going to be many humans in the corporate empires who believe in the natural world as well.
I'm starting to believe that may be the truth. But from our point of view, the corporations are the spoilers. We have high hopes for the Republic, but little for the rest of humanity.
I hope I can convince you otherwise.
And I hope that you are prepared for a challenge.
Nevon made a chirping noise which Denom recognized as a laugh in their species. It was difficult to recognize a smile on them, though. The multitude of razor-sharp teeth made that difficult, but the noise was distinctive. I appreciate it's going to be a challenge, but a good scientist always puts assertions to the test.
I'm not sure the evidence is with you on this one, Doctor.
We shall see.
Should you ever develop a workable theory, do please let me know.
Nevon placed the sample down and started manipulating a media pad.
You have my datasphere address.
The Makeen's manner was light-hearted and playful, a positive mindset that was at odds with that instinctual fear that ran within him. As he had stated to Carter, It was a standard human fear. What he had neglected to mention was that it applied to him as well.
Is that all of the specimens?
I think we've got them all secured, Denom determined. Best notify Mr. Vincent and see if he's still available for dinner.
That's the ancient human, is it not?
Yes.
I know I positively terrified him, Neville noted, but he did well, considering he'd never met one of my species before.
He is proving to be full of surprises. Nothing how I'd imagined someone of his time to be like.
Perhaps we have both been guilty of making presumptions about humans, Dr. Neville teased.
Denom smiled at this. The positive aspect of this good-natured teasing was that it was reinforcing a commonality between them, and Denom knew that this was an essential part of strengthening those alliances. The more they identified with each other, the closer they got. I guess we have. Denom messaged Carter and received a positive response. Well, unless there's anything else that needs to be done urgently, I shall see you tomorrow.
Enjoy your meal, Doctor, Neville wished.
You will notify me when you publish your findings, won't you?
Certainly, Doctor. I would be more than happy to, Neville acknowledged. I always welcome peer reviews.
And I always enjoy reading up on my collaborations.